So we had a thesis and are still working on a thesis that, hey, one way for the co-working industry to grow is to essentially backfill, previously built out co-working centers, and we've tracked, roughly 1,000, a little bit more than 1,000 in the Americas, mostly in the U.S. Um, what we've been finding, some time into it, is that roughly a third of those have been kind of taken by a new operator. Roughly 15% of those have been either demoed or marketed to traditional tenants. Um, so comparing this to pre-pandemic, when operators like WeWork represented, gosh, 5 to 15% of all leasing activity in the office
Mhm.
market, and taking into account that landlords are, let's just say, they're not actively chasing, most aren't actively chasing co-working operators even when they have a closed co-working center. What should co-working operators expect that landlords are gonna essentially hold fast to require leases? Should they hold out for landlords to accept more and more management agreements? Obviously, it's gonna be asset dependent, but what's your advice for a co-working operator who is trying to grow, has high occupancy, but is not necessarily finding a landlord to be hospitable to a management agreement?
Mhm. I mean, I think it would be great to see more management agreements. It would be great. But what don't we have? What do we need? What does everyone know that we need? We need a track record of success. You need transparency. You need the success stories to prove based on trailing income, rather than the way that investors and lenders have always valued office assets, which is on forward net operating income. But more like the hotel model, where you really know what the cash flows are for those spaces, and that this operator is going to hit their pro forma and is a trustworthy partner, and um, and that provides the clarity and confidence that you need to transact. Um, I think that it, of a lot of the groups that insisted on traditional leases with flex operators found themselves in a predicament anyway. So may have been better off to begin with in having a rev share and some sort of management agreement. It just seems to make a lot more sense for this to be kind of, to use the previous way I characterize it, but more of a symbiotic relationship between the
Mhm.
operator and the landlord.